Man, I'm tired of Earth. Take me to third world.
We love the MoMoBros. I love MoMoBros.
I know we love the MoMoBros.
Give me an oxtail, a mac and cheese, MoMoBros.
My generator first it broke, and then because it was broke, I tried to get another generator. My fire suppression system went off. Then somebody stole my broken generator, so my warranty was all messed up. It was a lot.
I love MoMoBros.
What's good, guys? Ethan Drake's with the MoMoBros, and we here with Wrld Televised.
I just had to go outside, get some air, feet on land as they say. But it seems like no matter where I went, all I could hear about is Momo's Bodega. I've never even had a chopped cheese in New York. So of course I pulled up. Now let's tap in.
Alright, so it's actually my dad that came up with the name for the MoMoBros. I go to Morehouse and my little brother goes to Morris Brown, the MoMoBros. I'm the brains and my brother, he the chef behind it all. He made the ingredients, everything we got. I started off, we didn't even have the food truck. I started off, this was a hustle as a freshman, you know. I'm coming from New York, we got delis and corner stores. And I came to Atlanta, they don't really got the same kind of vibe. After 8 o'clock, you got Waffle House, Cookout. It's probably one more, but it's dirt. So that's all you had. And then if you didn't have a car, you couldn't really get nothing. So, you know, I saw marketing food. My mom and my father, they got a restaurant. It's called Brooklyn Basil. That's a big plug. I grew up in the restaurant industry. You know, I was a barista, I was a bartender, I was a server. So I know hospitality, you know, that was my one. You know, as a freshman, I was serving sandwiches out the dorm, $5 for a cold cut. Throw that on some brioche bread. They was eating good. You know, I'm doing it out the dorm. You know, I'm going upstairs, downstairs in the dorm hall. If you was in Du Bois, you remember the Du Bois deli. Then we upped it. Sophomore year, it was called Wrld deli. I started making my own strawberry and mango lemonades. As we kept going on, you know, my mom, she helped me with this truck. And my little brother, he came into the fold. He made sure we had everything we needed in terms of the menu side of things. I was just here to make it happen, and he is to make it taste good. And that's why we here now. So I've been doing the truck for about a year now, and it's hard work, I'm not even gonna lie. I think the hardest thing that happened to me was, it was October, it was Clark's homecoming. My generator first it broke, and then because it was broke, I tried to get another generator. My fire suppression system went off. Then somebody stole my broken generator, so my warranty was all messed up. It was a lot. Long story short, I lost a lot of money. You know, I had to get myself back on track, and then I lost money in the fact that I was supposed to be working, and I wasn't working. So, in that moment, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I was damn near done, because when you're trying to do something new and when you're trying to pave your own way for certain stuff, like, there's no real blueprint. Like, it does not happen the same for everybody. So I believed in what I was doing, and I knew I was seeing results in the things that I was doing. But when it went wrong in such a capacity like that, I was ready to call it quits. It was hard to just, you know, when you got a dream like that, there's nothing to compare it to. You feel like, well, because it went wrong for me, it might be over right here. I don't know what next week is going to look like. I don't know that what I'm doing is going to work 10 years down the line. So sometimes you're ready to quit. And what I will say is, I'm fortunate enough that, you know, I have my mother supporting me. You know, like I said, her and my dad, they had a restaurant before. So some of these setbacks, some of these challenges, I've been fortunate to have that lend an ear. Like, these are things that happen. This is, you know, it's going to hurt. It's going to be hard, but this is how you get around it. But I will say, in the moment, it doesn't feel like that. In my mind, especially as an entrepreneur, I know some of you guys know, when you get those gigs, when you get those places to be at, it's like, you know, this is the biggest one I'm going to get. And that's not true. You know, you get more. As you're consistent, as you keep going, these opportunities will come and you will get more of them. But in the moment, when you spent a week and a half preparing for this one day, and when you're looking forward to it, when you, in your mind, you already know how much money you were supposed to make, when that all comes crashing down, it's hard. Maybe that little 9 to 5 is better than this 24/7, because that is what it is. But I keep going because, you know, I got a great support system. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not blessed. You know, I am blessed, and I thank God for that every day. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate enough to be able to have these things, but also to be able to react on them. So I just want to say, in terms of anybody who's trying, like, first, make sure you believe in what you're doing, because if you don't, it can't work. You know, I believe in this so much for the fact that I want to bring Brooklyn to Atlanta, for the fact that the New York heads out here, they mess with me. I want to make sure that, you know, we got a place to go when we're away from home. Because I came here and it wasn't out here. So let's make it. You know, we from New York. We the center of it all. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not blessed. I'm stressing that I am. But you are as well. We all are. Yeah, so as long as I've been doing this, I've been in the AUC, I'm a part of the AUC, and they're a part of me in every aspect of the word. People have been supporting me since day one, you know, from my man starting off in Du Bois, you know, for those guys, they watched me grow. So what I would say about going to Morehouse, there is like this nuance in the fact that the same people who you be outside partying with is the same guys next day, they in class wearing their suits on their ones and twos. That representation for me, it always makes me feel like I could do a little more. So the fact that, you know, these is my bros lifting me up, this is a job that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? This is a heavy job that I'm doing. And personally, as I'm getting this recognition, I'm realizing I'm pioneering something, but it don't always feel like that. It feels like I'm just doing something for the bros. You know, I'm just helping out my friends and my homies. Like, so that support to where, you know, like they say, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. I get support from, you know, the organizations who throw functions. Yo, where the MoMoBros at? Come, you know, we want your truck there. And then to the point where, you know, I'm always at the events. I'm always in tune with the culture. So, you know, that support does a lot for me because I know that I'll be good. When I brought out the food truck, it was really for the fact that I wanted to be able to be in people's faces. I wanted to be out late night, you know, because I realized the disparity in that late night eat situation. I was told, you know, before COVID, you know, 30 years ago, a lot of different stories. Atlanta was different. Y'all had the 24-hour Walmarts, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had it all. It's not like that now. So I'm trying to bring the New York vibe. You know, the truck is so that I could be in the community. The store is so I could be a staple. I want the store to be open long enough that you get that late night fix. I just want my legacy to read like Morehouse made. You know, brick by brick, I'm never gonna forget that. You know, but it's also Morris Brown made too, because we wouldn't have the flavors if we ain't had the chef. And Morris Brown is on the come up, so, you know, I gotta show my love. I gotta name drop that. Yeah, the AUC made me, and I plan to become a pivotal role in it. And in the AUC, it's a lot of bright minds. So just the fact that I was able to create something of my own and that I'm in collective with so many creatives is like perfect for, you know, the dream that I have. And in this dream, it's a lot of culture. You know, we're talking about culture and food. I'm from St. Lucia. And St. Lucia in Barbados, you know, dad's Bayesian, mom's Lucian. And if you guys check out my parents' store, it's a Caribbean Latin infusion. It's one of those things where it's like, in New York, it's such a melting pot of, you know, races, cultures, things like that, that when I came to Atlanta, it's not that that wasn't there, but it wasn't as pronounced. There weren't as many spaces for it as there are in New York. Just for me to be able to bring our culture out through the food also is a great thing for me. And, you know, when I do this, if we're talking about legacy, I want MoMoBros to have the same ring as McDonald's. You know, in the AUC, we hot. You know, by God's glory, we hot. You know, I type MoMoBros into my phone, Siri, she give me the caps. So I'm feeling corporate already halfway. But I really want the MoMoBros to be considered as, you know, these are the people who brought the first deli vibe to Atlanta. And here's the thing. I've had a couple conversations with some natives. They said the Atlanta 30 years ago is not the same Atlanta that it was now. I had those conversations, but y'all ain't had no corner store like the MoMoBros before. I want to be at the forefront of when gentrification rolls in because it always does. If you're paying attention, they building new buildings, they getting stuff done. So let's try to have a hand in that because that's what I want to do. For your blessings, but also just be easy on yourself because life is hard. You know, I'm doing school and this at the same time, and I'm 21. I'm trying to live my life, you know. Hear me now. I want 2 MoMoBros at least in Atlanta. And then, I ain't gonna lie, I'm coming for DC. I went to DC a little while back. I got the brownstones just like in New York. I do stores out of the brownstones, and I think that's pretty cool because my whole life, a brownstone has just been a house. I lived in a brownstone. So, you know, how y'all gonna get a MoMoBros next? That sound good. It's another thing to let the flow take you. I talk fast. I'm sorry about that. I got a million things on my mind at once. I'm trying to, you know, if y'all met my mother, you would understand I got big shoes to fill. And, you know, just find out one person who, you know, you think what they do is smart, you look up to them, you know, and just do your thing. So yeah, MoMoBros Bodega.